Hello guys, I'm Mortician and welcome back to a Mortician's Tale. We're going to jump right back in. December 2nd, 10:22 AM. I always feel really bad for people who die in December. Or their families anyway. I mean, it's that close to Christmas and yeah. Okay, we'll deal with that in a minute. Hello Charlie, today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just a standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. We'll get back to that. Hi Amy, thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Oh, she's here again. Charlie, I was just doing some reading. I know you hate it when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you. You haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup of 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? I honestly thought these two were together. It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin and witchy gothy aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant over. I'm gonna try it out because it turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? I'd be interested. Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. My brain just broke there. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Okay, so the best friends. Miss you, let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. P.S. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Not really. Tender rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet though. Jen. Who's this? Paycheck coming late. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I didn't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Okay. Oh, that's Amy. Naughty, naughty. I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us for a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy has been having. A small mum and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm going to grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash. 2 birds, 1 stone. And swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? A beef and cheddar? I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-through, of course. It freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. I'm heading out in 15 minutes. Oh, he's nice. Okay, LGBTQ funerals. Respect. If you've been a long-time subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard of the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut or buried under the wrong names and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. Oh my god. I hate it when people do that. It's like, dude, you tell me what pronoun you want me to use, and I'm good. Really. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraud directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation, obviously, enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. So, a step in the right direction. Yes, I fully agree. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death as people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognised as legal depending on the laws around same-sex marriage, but this doesn't mean you are not dealing with two people who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is to also ensure that the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honour the deceased, then do that. Honour them. Which, again, I know this could open a really big can of worms, but like I said, you tell me what pronoun you want me to use and I'll use it. I don't give a damn if you're male, female, trans, unicorn even, I really don't care. You're a person and I will treat you, well, the same way I would want to be treated. It's just one of those things. It's your choice. If you want to change gender and whatever else, that's your business. You just tell me your pronoun and I'll use it. One of my friends has the pronoun of they and them, and most people were saying he, and it's like, no, it's not that hard. Just ask them and they'll tell you. But yeah, that's a story for another time. It's just respect, isn't it? Honestly. Oh, this is new. Oh, good to see you. Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewellery for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process, as not to damage them. Start by removing the necklace. Click and drag the necklace paste on the purple tray. We'll place the necklace in the urn with Mrs. Hall's ashes later. Oh wait, I do actually. We need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag and place it in the coffin. Great, Mrs. Hall is set to be cremated now. But weren't we supposed to... Oh. What about the clothes? Didn't they say clothes? Or am I just being really, really blunt? Oh, we have an urn. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash, so much as bone fragments. Using the cremulator will break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Start by placing the urn in the cremulator. Click and drag the bone fragments, drop them in the top. There's your head. And whatever that bone is. And then this bone. Click and drag necklace back into the urn. Oh shit. There we go. Don't forget the tag. Click on the round and drag it to the urn. And put a lid on. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlour and present it alongside some flowers. Oh, so that one's fairly easy. Oh. Let's go be respectful. Talk to you. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up, not once. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. So why aren't we doing it? Can I change the music? Glad she was cremated and not like an open casket or something. Seeing her like that, I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. Not many people here. That's always been a fear of mine. This is nice in a weird way. She'd like that we're all here talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. Yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? You know, who will come to my funeral? That kind of thing. I don't know. Oh, February 14th, 10:14 a.m. Oh, Valentine's Day. Oh, heck. It's with a very heavy heart that I write to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that it was the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. Aww. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighbourhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for the business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought, or I sold. Either way, soon, Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc., a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the name Rose and Daughters Funeral Home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. That was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have had a company lunch, but admittedly, I didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me, please understand. Aww. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. I'm eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our request for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I'll do that in a minute. I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counsellor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self, and it would be good for you to start building these kind of relationships of your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. Ryan Garcia. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles I should reach out, and you would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full good life, was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me to someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mum right now. She's dealing with enough, with work and the will, and trying to just be the best mum she can. I just need somebody to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. Ryan. Aww. Keep on protecting Earth with green burials. You have lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can. So why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming popular and focused on a few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000. So it's better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big businesses. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we've gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. Charlie, I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Oh my god, I love Tales from the Crypt. Get it? Get it? It's like Minesweeper but way harder. I hated that game, oh my god. Like seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at the hotel for 3 years. But I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High school gets to pick the restaurant we go to and one of us is in town next. Please see the note below about the pacemaker, this can be tricky. You asked if there were any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker too. The doctor told me that this would need to be removed. Okay. I'm good. I'm doing it. So I've got to take his pacemaker out. I did have a drink here once. Is this it? Ah, this one will do. Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. Hang on. Excuse me. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's start by removing his pacemaker. Drag the scalpel over the heart to make it... What the hell's this heart doing up there? You can see the pacemaker. Use the thingies to get it out. Place the round thing in the coffin. We're not going to stick... Oh, it don't really matter. Why is this heart up there? It should be like here. Oh my god. Biology, people. In he goes. Oh, we gotta do this thing, haven't we? Yeah, I know. I know how to do it. Let me get his head bone. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. That's a bone. Come on. Come on. Give me the bone. Give me the bone. You're done. You're done. Alright, we'll chop that in. And, oh, I'll let it go. There we go. They look very cuddly down there. Oh, he looks really sad. Let's go see her first. Come on, lady, I'm going to talk to you. Ow! Sat on my foot, pain. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Aww. I always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. Yeah, I'm guilty of that one. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere. Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you about that time we tailgated? Really? Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. Okay. That was the thing. February 28th, 10:35 AM. I've got a yawning problem. Go this way, dude. What's going on? Wow. Mushrooms. Thought I'd pass this along to you. I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and I apologise if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He just wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Okay. Things to avoid saying at a funeral. Oh dear. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people. But unfortunately, we can deliver a little bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here is funeral's top 5 things not to say at a funeral. Number 1. At least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this. It's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. Number 2. Were they saved? No religious statements. Just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is it not always comforting, it can also be insulting. They are with the angels now. See above's note, then rinse, repeat. Number 4. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want help, but those in mourning won't always ask for your help. If you want help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. That'd be weird, a funeral director asking to babysit my kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Cook something for them, take them to their favourite restaurant, or buy tickets to see a movie together. Number 5. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied to any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say I'm sorry if you don't know what else to say. Let's have a look at mushrooms. You hate mushrooms so much, I found the perfect thing for you. I like mushrooms. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker. Look at what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing to you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people called a biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralise toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewellery. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead, am I right? Okay. Oh. Comfortable, not comfortable. Oh, I can... Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation. Yet, anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. It's spoilers, guys. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has determined a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witness sign his living will or his advance directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do this. We have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you're uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. Now, I have issues here. He asked for a cremation, but the families demanded a traditional burial. That was the thing about brain. Without respect, it's their choice. I'm not uncomfortable with this subject, but like I say, trigger warning, guys. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the fact that they've taken his last will, but I'll do it anyway. But just a warning, guys. Oh shit, I dropped that. The deceased family has asked for an open casket funeral. Clean Mr. Scott's body. Yeah, there's nothing I can say. It's just one of those things. There we go. Oh. Glue each eye shut. Cotton balls in the mouth. Sew it closed. Moisturizer. There's a fly walking on my arm. Attach a cannula. Where was it there? Turn on the machine. I know it's a sensitive subject, guys, and some people won't be comfortable. And I apologise for that, but it was always gonna be a thing. Oh. But just know, guys, that this isn't actually... There's no way I can say that nicely. Suicide is never the option. It might seem like everything's lost, but there are people you can speak to who will understand, or at least will be able to help. If not friends, family, there are mental health professionals that can help. They're trained to deal with it. And I don't know about the US, but or anywhere else for that matter, but it's one of them, you know. I'll drop some things down in the description, some links to websites and phone numbers for our UK viewers. I will look for some US numbers as well and websites, but yeah, there is always somebody there that will be able to help, and that nothing is worth ending your life over. There's always a tomorrow, and people will always care. I still can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know, being able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. He wouldn't have wanted that. I know. It's just, it hurts. Yeah, I know. I heard it wasn't going to be an open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. Oh, was this the girlfriend, or... I wish we were closer. Wow, I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother... Oh, it's his sister. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. Oh, these parents. Quiet sobs. Oh. March 3rd, 10:45 AM. I am gonna stop here, guys. I'll get out to main menu. But yeah, like I said, down in the description below, I'll put some links for things like that, some helplines, and just know it's not the end. Whatever you're going through, I know it's cliche, but the storm will pass. It's not all as bad as it looks. You will come through to the other side, and there are people who want to help. The link to the game is also down in the description below. It's only $8.99 on itch.io. But yeah, we'll finish this off in a part 3. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!